Have you ever been trapped next to someone blasting a full-volume phone call, like the world owes them silence while they scream into their speaker? Yeah, that happened to me in a hotel lobby. But instead of sitting there powerless, I decided enough was enough. And the way I got revenge? Let's just say, it was loud, it was petty, and it was perfect. If you've ever wished you could shut down an inconsiderate loudmouth, smash that like button right now. Subscribe if you love stories where justice is served, because what you're about to hear is one of the most satisfying small acts of revenge you'll come across today. I was in a hotel lobby, trying to enjoy a rare moment of peace. My phone was charging, I had a book in my bag, and for once, I wasn't rushing anywhere. The space was quiet, soft music humming in the background, a few guests minding their own business. You could hear the hum of the AC, the quiet shuffle of papers at the front desk. And then, he arrived. An older man, maybe late 60s, gray hair slicked back, heavy leather shoes clacking against the floor. He sat down right next to me, despite the entire lobby being full of empty seats, and immediately pulled out his phone. And not just to call someone. Oh no. He put it on speaker and cranked it to max. Suddenly, the peaceful lobby was invaded by the tinny, distorted sound of someone's voice screaming from his phone. He was having a full-blown conversation at a volume that could probably wake the dead. At first, I tried to be polite. I picked up my things and moved across the lobby, sitting at a table far away. But here's the thing, even from across the room, I could still hear every word. I glanced around. The hotel staff exchanged awkward looks but said nothing, probably too afraid of offending a guest. Other people in the lobby shifted uncomfortably, trying to ignore it. And me. My blood pressure was rising by the second. You know that feeling when someone's disrespect is so loud, so blatant, that it almost feels like they're daring you to say something? That was him. I thought, do I confront him? Do I tell him to shut it? But honestly, I was tired of always being the polite one. Tired of swallowing my frustration just to avoid conflict. And then, something inside me snapped. I looked at him again. He was leaning back, legs crossed, completely oblivious, or maybe he just didn't care, that he was ruining the atmosphere for everyone else. His voice was booming, his phone blasting, and I thought, fine. If that's the game you want to play, let's play. I reached into my bag, pulled out my phone, and opened my music app. My thumb hovered over a playlist I hadn't touched in a while. Metal. Loud, angry, aggressive metal. I scrolled to one of my favorites, Kill Switch Engage. And with one decisive tap, I hit play. At first, I kept the volume moderate. Just enough that it didn't bother the staff too much, but loud enough to clash directly with his phone call. The opening guitar riff shredded through the peaceful lobby. A couple of heads turned. The staff at the front desk raised their eyebrows. And me. I just sat there, calm, pretending to scroll my phone, like nothing was happening. It didn't take long. The man glanced over at me, his brow furrowed. He was trying to keep talking on his call, but the music was making it impossible for him to hear. His voice got louder, like yelling could somehow overpower the metal blasting from my phone. Then, finally, I saw it, his breaking point. He turned slightly in his chair, mouth opening as if to say something. Maybe he was going to tell me to turn it down. Maybe he was going to scold me like some teenager. But I didn't look up, didn't flinch, didn't even acknowledge his existence. I just kept my eyes locked on my phone screen, expression blank, body relaxed. That silence, that refusal to engage, it spoke louder than any words. I watched from the corner of my eye as his shoulders slumped. He sighed. And then, slowly, almost reluctantly, he lowered the volume on his phone. And when he did, I immediately turned off my music. The message had been delivered. Loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. The best part? A few minutes later, his phone rang again. This time, instead of blasting the call to the entire lobby, he quietly picked it up, lifted it to his ear, and spoke like a normal human being. No more shouting. No more blasting. No more disturbing the peace. It was like watching a child finally learn their lesson after being scolded. And I can't even describe the satisfaction. That moment when his phone pressed against his ear? Oh, it was beautiful. It wasn't just silence returning to the lobby, it was justice. Everyone else around me seemed relieved too. The staff went back to work, other guests stopped squirming uncomfortably, and I sat there in quiet triumph. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to confront him directly. I simply gave him a taste of his own medicine and let him realize how awful it felt. And the fact that he changed his behavior afterward, that was the cherry on top. Sometimes, revenge doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes, the best revenge is silent, calm, and just letting people experience the same disrespect they dish out. It's not about stooping to their level, it's about showing them the mirror. So, what do you think? Was I too petty, or was this the perfect way to handle it? Let me know in the comments below. And if this story made you smile, hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of sweet, sweet revenge. Until next time, stay respectful, but never be afraid to serve justice when it's deserved.